Aloha, welcome back to You Are Your Own Beloved. Let's take a deep breath together. Sit up with a tall spine. Breathe in through your nose, relax your belly. Pause at the top. Slow, audible exhale. Again, deep breath in through your nose, relax your belly. Exhale. One more time. Just breathe naturally. Focus on your third eye. Feeling your mind clearing and quieting down. Your heart slowing down, just beating naturally. As you enter into the sacred space within your own being of pure wholeness, pure sacredness, pure holiness, and pure light. I feel you, and you are your own beloved. And when we put that into action, when we take words and apply them and put them into action in our lives, sometimes we have to do things that make us a little uncomfortable if it's not our habit or our pattern. For example, I had to do something with somebody that I felt a kindred connection with. And sometimes soulmates come into our lives for just a brief moments, right? It could be just a brief encounter. It could be a day. It could be a week, a month, just a brief time, and then poof, they're gone. And sometimes it's like this karmic balance that needs to be worked out. And I mean, I don't know all the answers, but in my own understanding, this is how I interpret it, and I'm able to rectify and come to peace within my heart about certain relationships that happen where you feel really drawn to somebody, like you have to, like it's not even in your control, like I get to know them or be with them or experience something with them, and then all of a sudden it's just like this boom, this pain, this heartbreak, or this letdown or explosion or just whatever. And so I've experienced that, and just recently, and it reminded me of this message that I received when I was 11 years old, and I used to chew Bazooka Joe bubblegum. Do you remember Bazooka Joe? They used to come in those individual little pieces of bubblegum for like a nickel, and they always came with a comic, and I always read the comic, and there was a fortune on the comic, and one I kept like forever, and it actually, the fortune stuck with me forever. And I was 11, and the fortune was, better to be alone than in bad company. And I was like, wow, that's so true. And so sometimes loving someone, like truly loving someone and truly loving yourself and being your own beloved, means saying no. And saying no, a lot of times people think no is a negative thing, but it's not. Saying no can be very positive and very healthy if we're doing it, if there's someone in your life, even if they're a soulmate, and particularly if they are a soulmate, because soulmates are usually triggers for change, and they don't necessarily come in this Hollywood package that we think soulmates come with rainbows and butterflies, and it's all like, no, that's a fantasy fairyland. Okay, That's all just an illusion. Soulmates are like the ones that come in with those lessons of those karmic duties and responsibilities. Soulmates come with Saturn, and it's like, okay, let's work out this karma, and it's not always pleasant. And so I find that, in particularly if you're an empath and a woman, and I'm not saying it's always women, but I find that in general, women generally have that harder time of drawing the line and saying no, no more. Whereas I feel like men are just, maybe they're more socially trained or programmed to just be able to shut down and cut off ties and walk away. Whereas women were trained to be like these emotional, supportive creatures, just follow around and support your mate no matter what, like beat you to death, but you still love him and whatever. I mean, it's kind of like ingrained, I think, a little bit in our society and our programming. So this message is mostly for women, but doesn't necessarily have to be for women. But to cultivate that inner strength and that inner love for yourself in a relationship that is not necessarily in your best interest, where it's damaging you and hurting you in some way, it's draining you, it's sucking your life force energy, it's toxic, it's negative, and you know it, but you just keep going back, for more and for more and for more. And it could be a child, it could be a spouse, it could be a girlfriend or boyfriend, a coworker. I mean, it could be, so there's so many different types of relationships that can happen in that container. And I think it's really important as you become your own beloved, and as you grow to really truly love yourself, and I'm not just talking about your physical form, but loving who you truly are and your core essence, not just your human self, but your godly self, honoring and respecting that within you, you're able to then say to someone, no, 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 nope, and no, because that is not healthy for me. That is damaging to my psyche, and that's damaging to my soul. That's damaging to my heart. And someone who is not careful, or should I say someone that is careless with my heart, that's an immediate no, you're cut off. And that could sound harsh, but I've had to really learn how to hone that in. And it took me until I was in my early 50s to be able to do that. So I used to always give people second chance, third chance, fourth chance. And part of it was because I second guessed myself because of that inner insecurity that I had been carrying around. I would doubt myself and second guess myself. Oh, maybe it's me. Maybe it was my fault or something I did. That was a big one. And, it's like that second guessing ourselves, that just takes away, that's like negativity towards our own self. And it's a big one. It's a big pattern to transmute. And when you transmute this for yourself in your own life, you're actually transmuting it for the whole, for the collective, and you're creating a new energetic pathway for others to follow. And so this has been big. The month of March has been nothing but collapsing timelines and transmuting old patterns and old karmic habits to start anew. And today is the 21st of March. It's the spring equinox, and it's the beginning of Aries, which on the zodiac is actually, Aries is the first sign of the new year. So technically you can say, according to astrology, that the new year is starting now, today, with the spring equinox. And so I wanted to make this video. I felt it was important that you hear this message, and maybe there's something or someone in your life that you have this relationship that you know deep down is really not beneficial for your soul, for your heart, for your psyche, for your well-being. But somehow you just, because you're a kind, giving, loving person, and again, there's nothing to be ashamed about that. And don't ever change your heart. Don't ever change. Darn it, I always have to get emotional. Because I feel spirit and the Divine Mother just moving through my heart, you know. And I know this is a message that many people need to hear, that because I used to think, well, you know what, I'm gonna change. I'm gonna just be more, what's the word? Less giving or more selective. And you know, I thought about that, and I tried actually to be different, and it didn't work for me. It actually hurt me more. It actually drained me more. It took more energy for me not to be me, if you can understand that, than for me to just be me. And I thought, you know what, this isn't working. I'm just going to be me, and I'm not going to stop being me, and I'm not going to stop being this loving, kind, giving person I am to whoever it is. But I will be more select. Here's where the selectiveness comes into play, or discerning when it comes to who I'm going to give and share my heart with. Because if that person is not, and deserving is not really the right word, because I feel everyone's deserving of love, but might not be in this time, space, reality deserving of what I have to offer, because in their receiving it, because relationships are about equanimity, right? And it's about give and take. It can't just be one way. Like, here, I'm just going to give to you, and what am I going to get back is like hurt and pain. And no, that's, you know, okay. So there's got to be this give and take, or it's like playing a game of ball with someone. You know, when you play ball with somebody, say softball, you have your mitt and you have the ball, and you throw the ball to somebody. They catch it. They're receiving your love, your energy. And then they take the ball and they throw it back to you. And then you take it and you catch it and you receive their love and energy, right? That's like a healthy relationship where it's give and take. But it's not healthy when you're just either throwing the ball and either A, they just drop it. They don't even catch it. They don't receive it. They just drop it. Or they take it and they don't throw it back to you. Or they take it, and what they throw back to you maybe is like a snowball that hits you in the face and it hurts you, you know? So it's like there's all different relationships and how there could be a give and take. So, you know, it's important to take inventory during this time of awakening and spring and new year and new beginnings and new birth, to look at your relationships. And it doesn't mean you shut your heart down to them. Like, just because I say no to somebody, no more, please, I'm putting up a boundary. It's a healthy boundary for me. But I don't shut my heart. I always, if I love somebody and I care about them, that doesn't go away, because that will always be there. And the truth is, you know, if somebody did come to me and they needed something, or if they, you know, if they really, really needed me, I would probably help them, even though I set a boundary. That's just who I am. Okay. I'll be honest, unless it was like extremely, extremely toxic, like harmful, where like I was in physical harm, or mental and emotional harm. But, you know, I think that it's important to take inventory of our relationships and be the most important relationship that you could have is the one with yourself. And that's what being your own beloved means, is having this nurturing, wholesome, loving relationship with yourself first and foremost. And when you have that, it makes it a little easier to set a boundary and say, no, I can't have you in my life. Like, I love you still, like I'm not closing my heart, but I love myself more. right? And that's a healthy thing. It's not a bad thing to say, no, I love myself too much to allow you to be in my life at this time. Maybe that will change in the future, maybe not. But right now, and now is the only time that matters, I can't have it. And that's good. That's a healthy thing for you to say. Saying no can mean loving yourself. And saying no can also mean you are your own beloved. So I just wanted to share that message with you today. And let's just sit for a minute to absorb this transmission and this energy. You could place your hands over your heart center and your etheric heart, which is between the throat and the heart chakra. Your inner knowing, your third eye, is not just the space between the eyebrows up here, but your third eye is also in your heart chakra. The knowing comes from here. That's the true knowing of your holy high self. So connect to that space and that place, and maybe put your other hand over your solar plexus. And when you need guidance or answers to something in your life, take time to sit in quiet reflection or contemplation or meditation. Ask the question to your God self or to your guides. And listen for the answer here. Listen here. It will always come. And the message that I'm getting is that you are so very loved. So take that into your heart, take that into your soul, and deal with it. You're loved. Aloha stay. The Soulfire in me, I give to you. Aho. To learn more about my offerings, visit my website at igniteyoursoulfire.com. Please subscribe to my channel and comment below, my soul family. Thank you for being here on our precious planet Gaia at this time. Your light matters. You matter. You make a difference in the world by just being you. Ahuiho, until our hearts meet again. You are loved.